Hi, my name is Natalia Malaret. That's me. So today I want to talk about propagating, specifically pothos. Propagating pothos and other plants is pretty similar, but pothos is just the easiest plant ever, so I figured it's a good one to start with. Pothos is a pretty popular plant. You can get it, I think, really at any store that sells plants, like Lowe's, Home Depot. I've seen it at all of the nurseries that I've been to. Pothos is really easy as a houseplant because it can pretty much endure most conditions that in your household. The only thing it doesn't really like is direct light, but besides for that, it'll pretty much hang out in whatever light you put it in, including fluorescent light, including no light in a bathroom with fluorescent lighting. There's different varieties of pothos. So the one that I got originally was a golden pothos. That's the one that's hanging in our room. That's a really big one. And from the golden pothos, I've probably made over 40 new plants. And then I also have so this is a golden pothos. And then I also have Enjoy pothos, which my mom brought me from Virginia when she visited once. And then I also have neon pothos, which when it's more in light, it becomes like a neon green. And I just grabbed that from the garden outside. Basically, there's two ways to go about propagation. You can put them in water. You can put cuttings in water, or you can put cuttings in soil. But the way that I've always liked to do it, which I find is easier and more low maintenance, is just popping it in some water. I prefer propagating in water because it's so easy and because you can really see the progress that the plant is making. So when you originally put it in the water, it'll just be that little stem at the bottom, but basically the roots will grow from one of the nodes. So there's nodes along the entire plant. There are these little bumps, like you can see there. Anywhere where the nodes are submerged in water, they'll become roots. So where it used to look like this little node, now these are roots coming out of it. And you can make sure that it's actually occurring, and then it can grow to be much larger. Well, I don't think I should take these out, but you can see the rooting system. I also really enjoy using old wine bottles because it's just a good container for the pothos. Also, it has a small opening at the top, so especially here in Florida, I don't have to worry about mosquitoes and their larvae growing inside of the water. Sometimes that can happen with still water inside of your house. So another one that I've tried propagating is fiddle leaf fig. That one was a scary one to cut because the leaves are just so precious and big, and I was a little nervous about upsetting my plant, but it ended up fine. After I cut it, my plant ended up giving me 8 new leaves in return. So the fiddle leaf fig, this is actually one of the leaves that I cut off the first time I pruned my fiddle leaf fig. So when you propagate the fiddle leaf fig, you're supposed to take part of the stem with it, the main trunks with it. I wasn't able to do that for both of the leaves that I removed from it. This one here, it has the main stem still connected, and you can see those white areas down there. Supposedly those are going to become roots. It's moving really slowly, but it still looks really healthy too. And it's just kind of pretty here in this little cup. So just patiently waiting. It's been probably about 2 months now for that one. And then this guy here, he came at the same time, but you can see this one that doesn't have the trunk actually really started growing roots pretty quickly. And is still just living here in this cup because I'm not quite sure what to do with it. And I've read that if I plant this now in soil, it probably won't grow another leaf just because it doesn't have that main trunk connected to it. But this is the fun part about propagating. It's kind of like a science experiment, so we'll see what happens once I do that. So I've propagated pothos. Another one that I propagated is coleus. Coleus is one that I actually haven't had too much success propagating in water. It's a super easy plant to propagate in soil. You literally, once you make the cutting, you just pop it into the soil with whatever other coleus was there or in a separate container, and leave it. At first it'll look really upset for a few days and all the leaves are really droopy. You just have to keep the water or keep the soil pretty moist, and then it'll be fine in a few days and start growing roots. So yeah, you know, propagating pothos is just super easy, and I feel like it's really rewarding. It's an exciting process because you get to see, you know, you create a whole new plant from one other plant. And even though you can read online exactly how it's going to go for the most part, I feel like there's still some wonder that comes along with it, and it's just your experience that can be a little bit different than what you read anyway, so it's still like a learning process.